It is.
All right, welcome back. Rebooking the 90s. This is episode 8. A huge day. Our second pay-per-views. I am one of your hosts, Brady Roberts, aka Brady Malibu, and I am live, as always, with the punk hunk, the weirdo hero, Defy heavyweight champion, Ravenous Randy Myers. What's going on, man?
This is it, and I have returned from the living, and I appreciated that extra little plug in there with the Defy World Champion in there.
Of course.
Yeah. Still
Had to
interim,
sneak that.
or like there's an interim champion right now. Christopher Daniels has been calling me out. Knows I can't come down there and do anything about it, but you know he's definitely next on my list of people to party with.
Great. I can't wait for that match.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen. You know, we've fought many times in the past.
Yep.
I fought him and his friend Curry Man a couple times as well. So like, yeah, I think we're actually even. I think this would be like a rubber match. Actually, I think we're 2 for 2.
And whatever happened to his friend Curry Man? I haven't heard from Curry Man in a long time.
I don't know, something. I don't know. I think that there was some sort of like a run on spices or something like that. That like it just couldn't quite. Like he's just needed in other parts of the world more than he's needed here right now.
Sure. I'm assuming if you had drafted Curry Man that he would be in the hot sauce eating championship.
Clearly he would be right here tonight. He would be involved in one of my very hot segments coming at you tonight.
Hot. So huge pay-per-views tonight. This is our second pay-per-view edition. I've got the Rumble in the Bronx 20-man Rumble. I think I texted you about 5 times reminding you to never let me book a Rumble again. It was quite a lot of work to write. And your pay-per-view, and let's make sure I'm saying this right, SMASHTURBUTION or SMASHTURBATION? SMASHTURBUTION. Okay.
I know last time I had a bit of a like cold, or I had the plague, so
yeah.
I don't know if you could quite hear me, but yeah.
Okay, SMASHTURBUTION. Okay, good.
SMASHTURBUTION.
Cool. All right, man. Well, you're up first today, so let's do this, man. I can't wait. You got a lot going on. Rick Rude in China, a little romance breaking up. Miss Elizabeth showing up. We got a big tag team title match. The Flat Earthers are hanging out. We got Lance Storm and Mick Foley's feud continuing. D'Lo Brown defending the title against who knows? I don't think it was ever announced.
No, it wasn't announced, but he is forced to defend the title at every single pay-per-view. Our champions are forced to defend.
Great. And of course, the Hot Sauce Championship.
Oof, that's a big one. That's coming down tonight. That's coming down the pike. All right, so we started off the night. We are coming to you from the Rockyford Rodeo. Our ring announcers for tonight are Joey Styles, and I broke the rules a little bit, and I brought in Ryan Styles from Whose Line Is It Anyways?
I'll let that one slide, I guess.
Yeah, I figured like I didn't know how we were starting on improvisers. I thought we still got like one improviser on our list too. So I brought him in to have a back and forth. I think that they'll work really well together. Again, Joey Styles knows the play-by-play. Ryan Styles is doing the color. He knows all about how to go on the fly, which is exactly what we need in a wild promotion like we have here tonight. All right. We also have coming from the announce team, we hear that our co-managers, Raven and Roddy Piper, have been sent on a team building retreat and will not be in the building tonight because they have just been not on the same page, and it's time that they both take a hold of that managerial role, and we see what they can do when they put those two sick, twisted minds together after spending a weekend together, braiding each other's hair, doing dioramas, going on canoe rides, trust exercises, all those things. Let's see if they can't put the beef behind them after a nice weekend of some team building exercises.
I feel like that needs to be like a spin-off show in itself. Just Raven and Roddy Piper at a retreat.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Just two wrestlers just finding a way to get over their feud in a non-violent way. I think hasn't explored enough, you know what I mean?
And especially those two particular.
Oh, definitely, right? Yeah.
I would
imagine, like, I don't know, which one do you think would be better camping partner?
Oof. Both be freaking horrible.
I think Piper would be. I think he's probably got some more like survival skills. He's been in all those movies, those survivor skills movies. Raven, I don't know how long he could go without a blizzard. I don't know how many Dairy Queens there are out in the wilderness. So I'm going to go for Piper. He can do anything with anything. You know, he's very crafty.
True. Very true. Yeah.
All right. So we go to our first match. We've got Buff Bagwell versus Bull Nakano. Tonight, Buff Bagwell is out there. He doesn't have the hat on. He's coming out. He looks sad. He looks grim. He's holding the hat in his hand. He just thinks, you know what? It's not about the hat. Tonight is the focus is on me. Goes in there versus Bull Nakano. Bull Nakano doesn't give a crap about a hat. Doesn't give a crap about Buff Bagwell's silly little ski dance. Buff Bagwell just gets mowed over by Bull Nakano. Repeated splashes in the corner till Buff Bagwell finally falls out. Big standing splash. Bull Nakano goes to the top rope. Buff Bagwell looks in the corner, sees his hat, slowly makes the crawl towards the hat, puts on the hat. At this point, you can just see a new sense of confidence overwhelming Buff Bagwell. It's like when Frosty gets a hat put on him. He's a new man. He's got energy. He's got magic. Bull Nakano comes off the top rope. Buff Bagwell hits her with a big clothesline. Buff Bagwell mounts a giant comeback, eventually goes to the top rope and hits that blockbuster just like a Hulk Hogan. I want you to think of like when he starts shaking that finger, he's not taking no for an answer. As soon as Buff gets this hat, something happens. There must be something magic in that old felt hat that Buff wore that night. So Buff Bagwell goes over clean after nearly getting squashed by Bull Nakano. All it took was the control of that hat.
It's like the Undertaker's urn or something. That power.
Exactly. Yeah, it has that certain that kismet energy, as it were. All right, now we're going out to our second match. Our second match is going to be the match that was talked about earlier tonight. One of the matches that's the marquee of this night. We're starting off hot. We're starting off hot, as I say. With the Hot Sauce Championship match, we have Kane versus the Giant in the Hot Sauce Championship. We've got Muta out there, and we've got Luna as our two guest taste testers. Giant says that he's got so much power. He's looked for the biggest and the baddest peppers that he could find, and he's put them all into the tiniest little bottle, and he knows about big and he knows about small, and tonight he's going to condense all those acids into one drop. They put it on yam fry for Luna. They put it on a nice pork rib for Muta. Muta takes the bite. Flavorful, yes. Tasty? Quite. But hot? No. Looking disappointed, he throws the rib down. Luna tries her yam fry. Same thing. No result. Disappointment are all around. They turn to Kane. Last week, Kane was the one who disappointed everyone with his hot sauce. But this week, he unveils something. Comes out with something underneath a giant curtain. He pulls back the black curtain, and underneath there is a big red machine. It's a big red hot sauce making machine. So Kane's got turning all these knobs. He looks like a scientist. He's a cross between Isaac Yankem and Kane. So he's kind of wearing like a dentist kind of robe at this point. But he's like turning all these things. Steam's coming out, smoke's coming out, putting in peppers, turning dials. Out comes the sauce. Goes on the yam fry. Luna takes the first bite. The makeup shoots off the side of her face. The veins come in for real this time because it's so hot. Her head looks like it's about to pop off like the mask, or like the Jim Carrey in The Mask. It's like a cartoon style head, right? It turned into one of those like steam whistle bells, and awooga comes out of her mouth. This is clearly the hottest hot sauce she's ever seen. Muta, not one to be scared, picks up the rib, takes a bite. His face changes to all the different colors you've ever seen Muta's face change. He's got the green makeup. He's got the black makeup. He's got the red makeup. It's just changing like a Christmas light bulb. And he spits it out. This whole time, Giant is looking scared, like, he knows he's going to lose. Muta spits it out. Giant not noticing. Gets it right in his eyes. Giant's eyes are burning, can't see anything. Goes to hit Muta ducks, boom, hits Kane. At this point, Kane, not taking any of it, flips his hair back, gives that like this, I'm gonna like I'm a machine. I'm the big red machine. You can't hit me with one punch like that. Boom, they start going back and forth. At this point, Muta and Luna take the opportunity to steal the am fries and the ribs and slowly sneak outside of the ring, leaving the two behemoths inside the ring with the big red machine in the corner too. Big Show gets whipped into the big red hot sauce machine as the lights go out. The lights come back on. And sorry to steal a page from your book, but there's a bloodbath. Both men are laying in the middle of the ring, but
is it
not
blood or is it blood or hot sauce?
It's hot sauce, my friend. It's hot sauce, and they're burning. They're writhing in it. They're writhing in it. Both, you can see like their singlets and the material on their like spandex is slowly starting to corrode away because this hot sauce is just that hot. They make their way out of the ring, slowly covering up their bits as more and more of their spandex is being eaten away by this hot sauce, and they make their way into the back. Maybe the Scoville unit was a little too high on Kane's hot sauce tonight.
I think that is my favorite segment you've ever produced, first of all. The big red hot sauce machine is ingenious. And also, how shitty would that be to lay in a pool of really hot sauce?
It'd be the worst, right? Like, under those hot lights too. Yeah, I don't know. And like, I find like you don't ever realize how many like little cuts you get when you're wrestling.
Yep.
Like I always find that those are the things like I come home and I've got like a scratch here and a scratch there, and I don't know from, and I'm sure getting like that vinegar and that hot sauce and all that cayenne pepper in there, that's gonna sting. It's gonna sting. All right, now we're moving on to our next match. We've got the Flat Earthers, who, if you remember last time, challenged Rey Mysterio to find someone else who was willing to wear a mask, who's willing to hide their identity, who's willing to be scared of the world as we know it. Mm-hmm. So the Flat Earthers come out to the ring. They call out Rey Mysterio and his masked partner. Rey Mysterio comes out, brings out a partner that we've never seen before. It's a man wearing a globe mask, showing that his head is just as round as the earth, which is kind of flat in spots, but it's mostly round. Comes out to the ring. The Flat Earthers did not expect to see this, did not expect Rey to find a partner. Rey and his mystery partner start hitting all these sort of high-flying moves. We're seeing head scissors, we're seeing Hurricane Ranas, we're seeing springboard drop kicks, we're seeing like poetry in the motion in the corner, which kind of gives us a hint at who might be underneath that globe.
Oh.
Boom. At the end, we see the Rey Mysterio going for the 619. He gets caught. Bob Ollie adjusts him, puts him on the shoulders. Boom! Big Alabama slam. He spins around into yet another spine buster, this time from Arn Anderson with the spinning spine buster, taking Rey Mysterio out while his partner's in the corner begging for that hot tag. At this point, we see none other than Matt Hardy come out from the crowd, pulls the partner's legs off the apron, pulls the masked man hits his face on the apron. Matt takes him to the side, rips off the mask, unveiling that it has been Jeff Hardy this whole time. Matt starts laying the punches into Jeff Hardy, yelling at him, "How could you turn your back on the two men that have had our backs, the Flat Earthers? How could you disrespect them like this?" They fight to the back. At this point, it's leaving Rey Mysterio dazed and confused in the ring. The Flat Earthers hit a double flatliner on Rey Mysterio. Boom, to take him out. 1, 2, 3, holding on to the championship.
Wow, crazy. I like it. Jeff Hardy's maybe not so into this flat earth thing. He watched some mainstream media and started to understand that the earth is not flat.
That's just it. He's been asking questions. Yep. He's been reading books. He's been in encyclopedias. He's not willing to just take their word for it, where Matt Hardy seems to be lost in the promise that he will one day get a shot at these tag team titles if he converts himself to Flat Earth. Cool. All right, we are going on to our next match. We have Rick Rude and Miss Elizabeth on their very first date right there in the center of the ring. They've got all the accoutrements. They've got the mouche bouches. They've got the beautiful candles. They've got a violinist sitting there by the table. Rick Rude comes out in his finest suit. Miss Elizabeth is looking like $1,000,000. She's got like a blue sparkly gown on. She comes out. Rick Rude pulls the seat out for her, sits her down. Rick Rude, again, like in a beautiful suit, rips off his pants to unveil that he's got on his custom airbrushed tights for tonight. Of course, big night, big pay-per-view night. And he's got Miss Elizabeth on one side with a big smile on her face. On the other side, he's got Chyna, and she's crying. Yeah, heartbreaking.
Ouch.
At this point, Chyna can take no more. She comes out to the ring, and Rick Rude says, whoa, whoa, whoa. We've got room for 2 more, but 3's a crowd. I'm willing to make this a double date if you could find someone who's willing to date you tonight, but I don't think there's anyone in the back on such little notice who's willing to put out for you tonight. Well, at this point, the Titantron comes on and it says, what does everybody want? What does everybody need? Al Snow comes out with head. He's offering a little head to Chyna, a little help tonight for this date. Propositions her. Of course, she's got Head along with her. Head is also wearing a tie, a bow tie.
Nice touch.
Yeah. They sit down. They go into the table. Rick Rude looks all mad, didn't think that Chyna would find anybody. Throws the table over. Gets mad. Miss Elizabeth is all like, oh my goodness, I can't believe what is going on. I'm here for a date. I'm not here for a fight. Rick Rude's holding her back. Gets in Al Snow's face. They start trading punches. Out of nowhere, the violinist waffles Chyna with the violin right over her head. Al Snow turns to see her. At that point, Rick Rude grabs head, boom, lays out Al Snow, grabs Miss Elizabeth, and they take off.
Who was the violinist? Just
paid off.
Paid off. Wow.
Yeah, that's just who he was. I don't know. We haven't seen he was he looked like a normal guy. Looked like your normal violinist.
Must have been maybe a local extra, a local indie talent.
Probably, yeah.
Paid off by Rick Rude to play maybe a local indie guy that could also play a violin. You know any indie guys that can play a violin?
No, a lot of them do. Yeah, most actually. That's a hidden talent. Yeah, most can actually. Because what do we do when we get there? We did before. We set up the ring. There's 2 or 3 hours before the show starts. We've got to practice our violin,
Of course, you have to.
What else are we going to do? We're wrestlers.
Yeah.
All right. Our next match is the hardcore match. It's Cactus Jack versus Lance Storm. This match has been brewing for a couple weeks now, almost a month, where Lance has been getting underneath Mick's skin, saying he's not a good friend, saying he's not a good book writer. Tonight, Foley's literary career is on the line if Lance Storm wins this match. It's a hardcore match. Cactus Jack comes out. They start reading. Cactus Jack, first off the bat, starts by reading the rules of a hardcore match. To which, there are no rules in a hardcore match. And then he just attacks, throws down the book, starts laying it into Lance Storm. They got all the tables, they got all the chairs, they got the thumbtacks get brought out. Just before Foley lays out the thumbtacks, turns around, boom, eats a big super kick from Lance Storm, gets laid down in the thumbtacks, but that's not enough. Lance grabs the thumbtacks, shoves them in Foley's mouth, boom, hits that big super kick into the thumbtacks, which are into Foley's mouth, into the spot where the missing tooth was that happened the first week when Lance Storm hit Foley with the book. Lays him out. It's at this point that he puts on the maple leaf. He's holding it tight. Looks like Foley's got nowhere to go. Lance is holding in tight. Foley's boot is slowly slipping off. Lance is losing control as he's losing grip of Foley's boot. Foley's boot comes off. That gives enough time, enough momentum for Foley to push off Lance. Foley reaches down, pulls off his sock. It's Mr. Socko, but tonight it's not just Mr. Socko. It's Mr. Sonnet. And he starts reading the sonnet that is on the sock. Lance has lost it because he's so engrossed by the words that are coming out of Mick Foley's mouth. He can't believe the literary talent. Foley locks in Mr. Sonnet, takes Lance down to the ring. 1, 2, 3. Lance is not noticing that his shoulders are down as he's being read to. He's nearly being lulled to sleep by Foley's sonnet. Boom. Foley keeps his literary career. Lance Storm has had the literary word put where his mouth is. Yes, he had words shoved down his mouth. That's what I'm looking to say.
Nice.
So that's where we are with that leaves Mick Foley leaving high and dry. Not only is he Cactus Jack, not only is he Mankind, not only is he Mick Foley, but he leaves with his literary career.
Great.
We're going into our next match. Our next match is for the mid-card Master Championship. D'Lo Brown had both belts, but it has been seen unfair to this point. He has not defended his one title in over a month, so it has been stripped of him, and we are putting it in this match tonight. We feel Booker T has been ripped off week after week and had his opportunities stolen from him, so he's been put in the match tonight. It's Booker T versus Owen Hart for the mid-card Masters Championship.
Which is I think that's a new name, right?
It's a new name. It's been, the old title wasn't defended. It didn't feel like it was given the proper respect that it deserved. And the mid-card Masters deserve to be shown for what they are. So tonight we've got Booker T versus Owen Hart, two people who could obviously be in any main event as well, but tonight they are the mid-card Masters match. They are giving us a clinical, technical bout. Two great brothers within professional wrestling. I find that brothers, when they have someone that they can wrestle with all the time, they've just had their skills tuned that little bit more. They have that much more time to talk about things. They have that much more time to think about things. They're both very technical wrestlers. Halfway through the match, we see the return of the Dudleys coming down the apron, and they look pissed off. Last time we saw the Dudleys, they were taken out by the Harts in a dumpster up the stairs at the Electric Barn in Lethbridge, Alberta. And tonight, here we are at the Rockyford Rodeo, and they are pissed off. They make their way down the ring to interfere. Booker T will have none of it. Booker T stops them before they can interfere in the match. He said enough chicanery. He's had enough no good Nicks interfere in his championship matches. He wants this match to go clean tonight. So he's thwarting them on the outside. Meanwhile, the Harts come out to take care of them. The brawl between the Harts and the Dudleys spills inside the ring. Eventually, one of the Harts, they go for the heart attack on one of the Dudleys. Dudleys are able to move out of the way. Boom, hits Booker T. Booker T sees red. He's been trying to be a good guy this whole time. He's been trying to do the right thing. But now he says enough is enough. Boom. Devon picks up Brett in the big 3D. Booker pushes Bub out of the way, but Booker hits the big cutter out of it. Booker T is teamed up with the Dudley boys, turned his back on the good side, said, you know what? I've tried to be a good boy. Enough is enough. Throw it out. The match is thrown out. Again, we still don't have a mid-card Masters Championship, but we do have a new version of Booker T who's evil, and we have the Harts got someone who's got on the Dudley boys team to even up those odds.
Wow.
So that's where we stand there. And then we go into our main event.
It's time.
It's time for the main event. D'Lo Brown promised us that he's a fighting champion. And tonight, he's going to prove that to us in this match. I forgot to mention D'Lo Brown is every week as a fighting champion has also been giving to the fans. He's a giving champion. And tonight is cold soup night. So D'Lo Brown has been giving out cans of cold soup to all the fans. Not even your cold soup that you want. It's not your borscht. It's more of a cream medley, which no one's really appreciating. But the thought that counts, right? D'Lo Brown's giving out cold soup tonight. He calls out his opponent, Iron Mike Shaw.
Oh, did he get to pick his own opponent?
He got to pick his own opponent.
Wow.
He says he's not only going to take on Iron Mike Shaw, but he's also taking on Leapin' Lanny Poffo.
Wow.
Yeah, in a 2-1 or like in a 3-way match. So, D'Lo Brown is in there. He first takes the powder, sits on the outside, pulls himself out of chair, lets Iron Mike and Lanny Poffo trade hip tosses and arm drags and headlocks into head scissors, technical wrestling as it were. Both men are wearing far too short of shorts. Not quite enough. You know, these are lower card guys. They're still working to get their like. You notice like the higher rate guys have better gear. A lot of the time, maybe even have more gear. Lanny Poffo doesn't have boots. He just has a little pair of turquoise trunks on. So they're going back and forth. D'Lo Brown is on the outside. When he sees his opportunity, he slides in, hits Lanny Poffo with the big sky high. Boom, hits a big spinning wheel kick on Iron Mike, goes to the top rope, hits the frog splash on one, hits a frog splash so hard on one, boom, he bounces and frog splashes onto the other one.
Nice.
Lands on Iron Mike for the 1, 2, 3. At that point, D'Lo Brown, acting more exerted than he was, you know, has a towel, has the water bottle, looking like giving himself a little bit of a massage here, saying what a championship he is, saying he might next week take the next week off because there's nobody else on his level. At this point, he's seen the best, he's seen them all, and he's the champion, and he's taking a night off when the lights go down again.
Ooh.
The lights come back on, nothing in the ring. But the ring rips open. We see a hand come out from underneath that ring. That hand grabs the ankle of D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown's head nearly does like a 360 like an owl, and he gets, as he's getting pulled slowly into the ring by none other than our mystery choice, The Undertaker. And our pay-per-view fades to black as D'Lo Brown, our champion, screams from underneath of the ring as smoke billows out from the hole which The Undertaker created.
Unreal.
That's where we stand, yeah.
Fantastic.
So now D'Lo Brown thinks, you know, he thinks he's got no one in his path, but he's got the biggest force in his path, the Phenom in his path. He's taken on Booker T. He's gotten in the head of Bret Hart enough to make him not focus on the championship. And now he's got the Phenom in his path. Can D'Lo Brown, a man who is seemingly not taking on anyone quite of this mythos yet, can take on The Undertaker?
Fantastic. And do you have a title for your last pay-per-view?
For the last pay, I don't have my last.
Okay.
No, I don't know what we're working towards. It could be PWA Summer Heat.
Summer Heat. Yeah.
It could very well be. What's another good one? Retribution. What's a Christmas one? Summer Christmas Beatings.
Yep. Christmas Seasons Beatings.
Seasons Beatings. It'll be maybe when it'll be. It'll be next month, right? So
yeah.
February, St. Valentine's Day. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, great. Okay, so The Undertaker is here.
He's here.
He's here. Your mystery choice. As we remember at the draft,
rodeo, as we always kind of, there's been lots of speculation on the internet, as we know, like Dave Meltzer is part of the promotion, so he's been kind of laying out little red herrings here and there, kind of teasing that there might be a return or the debut of the Undertaker tonight at the Rockford Rodeo, because they just go so hand in hand.
Of course, fantastic, man. Well, great pay-per-view. Al Snow and Rick Rude, Jeff Hardy. Where does his alliance lie?
Exactly.
You know, the mid-card title still up in the air. The Undertaker, Buff Bagwell continuing with the hat. Where's Abe Lincoln? Where's that going to go? Mick Foley defeating Lance Storm.
We got a definitive winner there.
Fantastic, man. And what was the Rey Mysterio. So does Rey Mysterio lose his mask?
Yes, Rey Mysterio. Yeah.
Or was that stipulation dropped? I just remembered that.
Yeah, so Rey Mysterio is now having to go back to the overalls.
Yes.
The filthy animals, Rey Mysterio. Yeah. So he looks like Rey Mysterio looks about 14 at this point.
Awesome.
He could be whatever age you want him to be, because he'll always look 14 to me.
Right. Great, man. Okay. Well, if you're done, I'm going to move on. Rumble in the Bronx. This is a big one, man. I got tea and water because I think we got to make sure my voice can get through this whole thing.
Got honey in that tea?
Honey in that tea, man. A little lemon ginger. Okay. We got a quick pre-show to go through. Brian Pillman pulls up in the 1973 El Camino. He's got his cane in hand. Doc Hendricks wants some comments, but Pillman just rushes right by. He doesn't want to talk to Doc Hendricks. We got one match on the pre-show. Hayabusa, his knee is healed up. He's tagging with Jushin Thunder Liger in action, and they are wrestling the Brooklyn Brawler and Salvatore Sincere, looking to try to pick up their first victories here in the promotion. Hayabusa and Liger, they dominate with some high flying. Hayabusa hits a big Falcon Arrow on the Brawler, and Liger hits a Brainbuster on Salvatore. They go up to the corners, opposite corners, stereo shooting star press, both of them at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, nice.
Hayabusa and Liger. Quick work, hot pre-show match, making their way towards hopefully a tag team title match at some point.
Definitely deserving.
Doc Hendricks is with the British Bulldog, and the Bulldog has his wife, Diana, here for the big title match, and he dedicates tonight's world title match to the whole family and promises to bring the belt home to Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Back in the parking lot, Steve Austin pulls up. He's got a brand new truck. Brand new truck. Yep. Of course, if you remember, Brian Pillman blew his truck up.
Did he have to buy this himself?
Yeah, well, I mean, sure he's making a lot of money.
Okay, good.
Maybe there was an insurance claim of some kind. I mean, it was on camera, so maybe.
Yeah, you'd think that there'd be something like it. Maybe like ICBC's looking into it.
Sure, yeah. So he heads into the building towards for the Rumble, and finally, Doc Hendricks is backstage again with Shawn Michaels, who has the world title over his shoulder, and he guarantees that once again, just like the last pay-per-view, he will stand victorious tonight at the end of the show. We switch from the free-for-all to the pay-per-view feed, okay? And Pyro is going crazy. The set for Rumble in the Bronx, it's kind of like the Madison Square Garden Royal Rumble, where there's cars and you know, it looks like the roughest part of New York. Graffiti. And Pyro, graffiti. Pyro comes down from both sides and hits two vehicles, which then explode in flames, and these two vehicles are in flames for the whole pay-per-view.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It's unreal. Very warm for the fans sitting around that. So Tony Schiavone, Don Callis, Sonny, they welcome us to the pay-per-view, and Eddie Guerrero's music hits, and he makes his way out on a red lowrider. Huge ovation for the gauntlet match against the Heenan family for the Intercontinental title. If any member of the Heenan family defeats Eddie, they will become the Intercontinental Champion. And, of course, Eddie is undefeated so far here in Breakout. So the Heenan family makes their way to the ring. We start with Eddie versus Curt Hennig, which is a competitive back-and-forth match. Hennig attacks the knee of Eddie Guerrero. Eddie starts mounting a comeback. He hits a drop kick, but he's selling the knee after jumping. Eddie gets the Three Amigos suplex. He goes up top, but he's taking a long time because his knee is really bugging him. And Hennig runs, jumps right up to the top rope, and belly-to-belly suplex off the top for a big 2 count. Hennig goes for the perfect plex. Eddie spins out, sweeps his legs, and locks in the lasso from El Paso Cloverleaf, if you remember this.
Totally, yeah.
Okay, he's got a submission move up his sleeve. And Hennig submits. Crush jumps into the ring. He immediately attacks Eddie. Crush is just beating him down. He throws him to the floor, picks him up. He drives him into the ring post, smashes his head off the steps. Bobby Heenan and Ric Flair, they're at ringside. They're cheering him on. Crush throws Eddie into the ring. Eddie starts firing back up, but Crush cuts him off with a sidewalk slam for a 2 count. Heenan's getting frustrated. He slides a chair into the ring, which Crush grabs. The ref sees Crush holding the chair. Flair's yelling at him, just do it, do it. And Crush cracks Eddie in the leg with the chair. So Crush gets himself disqualified, but he attacks Eddie's leg with the chair. He wraps the chair around Eddie's knee. The ref is ringing the bell. He's trying to get Crush off of him. Ric Flair hits the ropes and drops the knee across the chair, just like they did to Austin on the first episode. Eddie's just screaming in pain. The ref's trying to restore order. Eddie finally pulls himself up in the corner enough that the ref decides to ring the bell. He kicks the Heenan family out to the back. Ric Flair, he attacks Eddie, attacks the knee. Eddie tries to fire back. He can barely stand. Ric Flair puts Eddie on the top rope for a superplex, but Eddie pushes Flair off. He jumps off for the frog splash. Flair moves. Eddie smashes his knee. Flair locks on the figure 4 leg lock. He's got it on. Eddie's struggling, and Eddie passes out from the pain to the knee, and the ref rings the bell. The Heenan family, they run back out, and they're celebrating with Ric Flair on their shoulders. Ric Flair's got the Intercontinental title, and Eddie is helped out by officials. Eddie is hurt by the Heenan family, and Ric Flair is the new Intercontinental Champion.
new Intercontinental Champion, and Eddie lost, but he didn't get rolled up. He didn't submit.
Yep.
He gave it all he got.
And all he got.
Three men like that, what can you expect? You know what I mean?
What can you expect,
man? Like assault with the chair like that, disgusting.
Even right to the end, a valiant fighting Intercontinental Champion.
Wouldn't expect anything less from Eddie.
We're in Jim Cornette's office. Edge and Chris Jericho, High Impact. They walk in, and Cornette, he wishes them luck in the Rumble tonight, but he announces that because of their winning streak, they will get a tag team title match on the next episode of Breakout. And Jericho says he can't wait, baby. We're back in the ring. The lights go out. We got a huge match here. The Dark Warrior makes his way to the ring with Gangrel, Mortis, and the Higher Power. And there's more flames. Lots of flames on the ramp tonight.
Even more flames than there were coming from the cars before?
They're still coming from the cars, but then there's even more. There's flames everywhere.
Okay, yeah. Jeez, this place, this building. What are the fans wearing? Are they dressed in tank tops?
Full like ET hazmat suits.
Okay, that's good. Cool. Yeah.
To avoid the flames. Surfer Sting makes his way to the ring, and the crowd goes wild. Sting and the Warrior, they're staring each other down. Just two icons staring each other down in the ring, and they just start throwing punches. They're throwing punches. This is an old school big man match, okay? It's slow, it's plodding, but the guys in it are just so iconic that you can't stop watching this match, okay? Sting, he's trying to fight. The Warrior is just barely selling anything. Like I said, he's more powerful than ever since going to the dark side. Sting shoots Warrior in. He hits a Stinger Splash. Warrior doesn't fall, but he sells to the other corner. Sting charges for another Stinger Splash, but the Warrior pulls the ref in the way. And Sting hits the ref, knocking the ref down. Gangrel and Mortis, they see the opportunity. They charge in, but Sting starts fighting them off. He's fighting back. The Higher Power gets up on the apron. Sting approaches him slowly. Gangrel turns him around and spits the blood mist into Sting's eyes. Mortis attacks Sting. He's beating him down. Sting fires back. He throws Mortis and Gangrel out of the ring. Warrior goes for a press slam, but Sting escapes and hits the Scorpion Death Drop.
Nice.
The Higher Power starts getting in the ring. Sting locks on the Scorpion Death Lock, spins him over, and he's face to face with the Higher Power, and he's just screaming at the Higher Power. The Higher Power kicks Sting in the stomach, DDT on Sting, and the Higher Power stands up.
No.
He pulls off the mask, and it's Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, there he is.
Who was my mystery choice in the draft. Jake the Snake is the Higher Power, the psychological mastermind. He's been pulling the strings behind the scenes. Jake grabs the ref. He's shaking the ref up. The Warrior hits the ropes. Big splash on Sting. 1, 2, 3. And the Dark Alliance celebrates in the ring, standing over top of Sting with Jake the Snake leading the charge. Unbelievable.
With a crew like that and with Jake at the helm, I mean, they're nearly unstoppable.
Unstoppable. We're in the back. We're in Ted DiBiase's private locker room. And in walks the Heenan family. Ric Flair, he's got the Intercontinental title. He says, we're here for the Champagne Fountain. And DiBiase says, absolutely, go ahead. You guys are welcome in here anytime. And Flair says, good luck to you guys next. You guys are going to defend the tag team titles. We're going to have all the titles. We'll be limousine riding, jet flying, chick stealing, wheeling, dealing. And we'll be toasting champagne as soon as you're done this next match. Woo. So they leave them to the Champagne Fountain. And in the ring, Goldust and TL Hopper make their way out. The fans are solidly behind the underdogs here. DiBiase and IRS, they head to the ring with the tag team titles. Dollar bills are falling from the ceiling. So DiBiase knocks Goldust off the apron right away, and they just start beating up TL Hopper. TL just cannot get in any offense. IRS and DiBiase they're whooping his ass ruthlessly. DiBiase hits a fist drop for a 2 count. TL heel does not give up. IRS, he slams him. He hits the ropes. He goes for an elbow drop, but TL moves. TL makes the hot tag to Goldust. Goldust charges in. He's a house of fire. He hits IRS with that big twisting power slam.
Nice.
DiBiase charges in. He gets backdropped. Goldust shoots IRS to the corner. He puts his legs up on the ropes. He wants that Shattered Dreams. Yep. TL Hopper pulls DiBiase out of the ring, and he's fighting with DiBiase on the floor, and the ref is distracted. Goldust charges in, shattered dreams on IRS. IRS falls to the mat. Goldust tags in TL. TL goes up top. He hits a real ugly splash, just horrible on IRS. 1, 2, 3. The boyhood dream has come true, and TL Hopper and Goldust are the new tag team champions. The crowd is going absolutely wild. DiBiase can't believe it. He's on the floor. He's very upset. Sunny at the announce table, she's standing up and clapping. She's very impressed by this. She's maybe getting the hots for TL here. The crowd's going insane, and TL and Goldust celebrate with the people in the crowd and the tag team titles. Unbelievable.
Wow. What a change. I did not see that coming after all the weeks of abuse that TL Hopper has had at the hands of Ted DiBiase and IRS. And now, after installing that toilet, after installing the champagne fountain and all the disrespect, and now he's the champion. Does he get those things? Does he get the golden toilet?
Well, he finally gets his revenge, that's for sure. I don't know if he's entitled to the private locker room, but he's certainly got his revenge. And you know, it's what we all want to see. The underdog against the millionaire, billionaire, and he gets his comeuppance after being talked down to by his boss for many months.
And Goldust finally found his partner that he's building.
Goldust found his partner. Exactly. It's paying off, man. Doc Hendricks backstage with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he's not in a good mood. He says he's been waiting a month to get his hands on Brian Pillman, and tonight he is going to absolutely destroy him in the Rumble. All right, we've already had 2 titles change tonight.
Ooh, man.
Our final match before the Rumble, the World Heavyweight Championship. The British Bulldog makes his way to the ring. Big ovation. Diana is at ringside. He gives her a big kiss on the way to the ring.
Is she wearing that brown leather jacket?
She is.
Oh, perfect. Cool. With like the fringe on it.
She pulled that out of the back of the closet for tonight.
Wonderful. It's a great jacket.
Hell of a jacket. Shawn Michaels heads to the ring. He's got his title over his shoulder. Great match. Absolute hell of a match. Bulldog attacking HBK right at the bell. This thing's gotten personal. He's just bouncing him all over the ring. These guys go back and forth for 15 minutes. Technical match. It's heated. Bulldog backdrops Shawn over the top. Shawn sells up in front of Diana. He gets up and he blows a kiss at Diana. Oh, the disrespect. Bulldog jumps him from behind. He picks him up. He goes for the running power slam on the floor, but Shawn slides off, pushes Bulldog, and Bulldog hits Diana.
Oh, no.
Takes out Diana in the front row, knocking her to the floor. And Bulldog he's very concerned. Some officials run out. Everybody jumps over the rail to check on Diana. Bulldog's over the rail. He's checking on her. Bulldog starts to stand up, and out of nowhere, he's blindsided by the super kick.
Ooh.
Shawn grabs Bulldog. He slides him back into the ring. He goes to the top. He hits a big elbow drop. The ref slides back in. It's only a 2 count. Shawn's calling for the sweet chin music. Bulldog catches the foot, spins him around, picks him up for the slam. Shawn scoots behind, spins him around, super kick, another one. 1, 2, and 3. Shawn Michaels retains the World Heavyweight Championship, a hard-fought victory over the Bulldog. And the officials help Diana to the back. She's knocked loopy after she was knocked down by the Bulldog by accident. And Bulldog is he can't believe it. He's sitting in the ring. He's devastated by this loss against Shawn Michaels at the Rumble.
This is his first loss, isn't it?
I believe it's his first loss. I guess he technically lost in the 6-man for the title, but he wasn't. Yeah. He was never defeated. Yeah,
he was never pinned. Yeah,
never defeated, and he of course did defeat Shawn Michaels on the first show. So, okay, we get a little video package highlighting the men in the Rumble on the road to our final show, Worlds Collide, and who will Shawn Michaels defend against at Worlds Collide? We got the 20-man Rumble, man. It's time.
Here we go.
Let me take a sip of tea.
This is what's made you go mad over the last week.
Exactly. You know, it wasn't really so bad once I kind of sat down and started writing it, but it's a puzzle to put these things together.
More daunting then?
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's a good thing it's only 20 guys and not 30, but
yeah,
it is fun. Okay. 20-man Rumble, man. Rumble in the Bronx. We got tons of big names in this match. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Brian Pillman, Bam Bam Bigelow, the Ultimo Dragon, Rob Van Dam, Sabu, all sorts of guys that could win. But who has drawn number one? And the music hits, and it's Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, wow.
Eddie Guerrero limps his way to the ring. He's somehow been cleared, somehow entered himself into this match at the last minute after his defeat earlier by the Heenan family. He is limping. His knee is messed up. He limps his way to the ring, and the crowd has given him a standing ovation for even showing up for this thing. He was not an announced member of this match.
And Eddie's 3 men, and now he's got to go through 19 others?
This guy's going to fight 22 men in one night, apparently.
Jeez.
He's standing in the ring, and we're waiting for number two. And Pomp and Circumstance hits, and it's the Macho Man, Randy Savage. If you remember, one of my first draft picks who has not shown up a single time yet. And the Macho Man makes his way to the ring. The crowd goes insane. Eddie and Savage are staring each other down in the ring. The crowd is just on their feet. They can't believe what we're about to see here. And the bell rings. And these two go back and forth. It's a babyface technical encounter. Eddie's selling the knee hard, but he's hanging with Savage. And the buzzer goes, and number 3, Disco Inferno, makes his way to the ring. Disco has been waiting for this for many months. He's dancing on the way to the ring. He charges in, and he immediately is eliminated by Randy Savage.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Disco is on the floor. He's upset. He says he wasn't ready. He's begging the officials to let him back in, and they say, "You're out of here, pal. Get out of here." And Disco is very upset. He heads to the back.
Dejected, heartbroken, I'm sure. He's been wanting this for so long.
Number 4, Too Cold Scorpio runs out. He tries to eliminate his rival, Eddie Guerrero, but Eddie holds onto the ropes. Savage tries to eliminate Scorpio, but he lands on the apron. Scorpio springboards back in with a big drop kick to Savage. Number 5, La Parka runs out with a chair. He swings it at Savage. Savage ducks. La Parka hits the chair on the top rope, smashes himself in the head.
Oh.
And falls back. These guys just keep going at it. Number 6, Jushin Thunder Liger. Of course, we saw him on the pre-show. He hits a big springboard crossbody onto Scorpio to enter the Rumble.
Nice.
Number 7, the Lionheart, Chris Jericho, runs out. Hot baby face, baby.
Yeah.
He goes after Liger. You know, these guys have been going at it last week in the tag team division. And the brawl continues in the ring. And number 8, we got a big one. It's the monster. It's Bam Bam Bigelow. And he heads to the ring. He, of course, defeated the Ultimo Dragon in the street fight last week. He's showing his dominance. He immediately gets in. He grabs La Parka and press slams him over the top rope. Scorpio attacks him. He's dumped over the top rope as well. Bam Bam Bigelow making a statement with this entry. Number 9, Hayabusa runs out. And him and Liger start teaming up. They're attacking Bam Bam Bigelow. Everyone's brawling in the corners. They're trying to dump each other over the top. Number 10, it's Barry Horowitz.
Oh, here we go.
Barry Horowitz heads to the ring and has just seemingly no chance of winning this Rumble. How did he get a spot in this?
You never know, though. We've seen weird things happen tonight. TL Hopper's our tag team champion. Come on.
See, a jobber can rise from the ranks, as we've seen. I mean, you just had 2 jobbers in the main event of your pay-per-view.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's absolutely possible. Bam Bam double clotheslines Hayabusa and Liger in the ring. He picks up Barry. He slams Barry hard. Bam Bam is just dominating the Rumble. And number 11, the last man Bam Bam wants to see, the Ultimo Dragon, runs to the ring. Of course, Bam Bam's the only guy standing. Everyone else is kind of down in the corners. Ultimo runs in. He's got that kendo stick. He attacks Bam Bam. They're going back and forth. Hayabusa and Liger get up, and the 3 Japanese legends, they start attacking Bam Bam. The 3 of them, they pick up Bam Bam's legs. They're able to get him over the top rope onto the apron. Bam Bam fights back. He headbutts him, all 3 of them, knocks him down. And Barry Horowitz flies out of nowhere with a drop kick and knocks Bam Bam to the floor. Whoa. Barry Horowitz has eliminated Bam Bam Bigelow in the upset of the century.
Wow.
The Japanese legends, they're laughing at Bam Bam in the ring. Bam Bam flips out. He starts throwing chairs. He's shoving officials. And security escorts Bam Bam Bigelow out of here. He's eliminated by Barry Horowitz. What an upset.
That's a sting.
It's got to sting. He had some momentum going again after the big win last week, and now he's upset
Yeah, he had made a name for himself last week as this monster, like doing all that damage to Ultimo Dragon, and
Mhm.
now just looking like a joke walking out of Rumble in the Bronx.
Yep. Number 12, Rob Van Dam makes his way to the ring. He starts going at it with Eddie Guerrero. Ultimo Dragon jumps into this battle. Awesome three-way with these three here. Eddie hits the three amigos suplexes on Ultimo, and on the third one, he dumps Ultimo over the top rope to the floor,
Oh, wow.
eliminating the Ultimo Dragon.
Nice.
Number 13, it's Bruiser Brody.
Oof.
Got to be a favorite to win this Rumble.
Totally
He
wild card.
charges the ring. He's swinging his chain. Hayabusa and Liger, they jump on him, but he double clotheslines them both over the top rope.
Yeah.
Brody grabs Barry Horowitz, tosses Barry Horowitz over the top rope with one hand,
Jeez.
eliminates him. Number 14, a man that does not want to get in the ring with Bruiser Brody. It's Doink the Clown. Doink the Clown, he slowly makes his way to the ring. He's got his bag of weapons. He's assessing the situation. Brody's kind of standing by himself. He wants Doink in the ring. And he's intercepted in the aisle by Ted DiBiase. DiBiase runs out, and DiBiase's got a stack of cash, and he offers Doink a huge wad of cash to take his spot in the Rumble. And Doink accepts the money. We know Doink loves scamming people out of their money. He takes the money. DiBiase slides in the ring. He's got more money. He pulls it out of his trunks. He's got some guys stuff their trunks with socks or whatever. DiBiase's got a trunks full of cash.
You got to keep it somewhere. You know what I mean? I remember having one time I had, I was in a match after that fans had thrown money into the ring.
Yeah.
When, some luchadors had been in the ring beforehand, and they had like fans throwing money in the ring. And I was like selling after my match, and I found some money underneath the ring, and I totally had to
absolutely
right in your tights.
Absolutely. So DiBiase offers the money to Brody. Brody grabs the money. He shoves it in his mouth, and he attacks DiBiase, gives him a pile driver, picks him up, and throws him over the top rope. DiBiase paid all that money to get in the Rumble, and he gets eliminated right away.
Right away, and a pile driver to boot.
Number 15, Tiger Ali Singh.
Oh.
He runs out, and he offers Brody an even bigger wad of cash.
I didn't know he had more cash.
Tiger Ali, he's got lots of money too. He's like a prince.
Okay, so he's got more than $1 million man.
Well, who's to say who has more? But in this moment, he's got an even bigger wad of cash.
Who's got more pyro?
Neither have pyro.
Okay, so then,
although DiBiase has the money that falls from the ceiling.
That's nice, but
yeah. So Brody clotheslines Tiger Ali out of his boots. The money just goes flying out of the ring. He picks up Tiger Ali. He throws him over the top rope. Doink the Clown is still at ringside. He's picking up all the money. He's just picking up the money that fell out of there, and he shoves it into his bag of weapons and just leaves.
Smart man.
Eddie Guerrero is kind of selling up on the ropes. Van Dam charges him. He gets backdropped over the top. Van Dam is eliminated by Eddie Guerrero. Number 16, the glass breaks, and it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Here we go. He heads to the ring. The crowd explodes. And, of course, standing in the middle of the ring is Bruiser Brody. And Steve Austin and Bruiser Brody stare each other down. The crowd is going wild. A dream match and a slugfest ensues. These guys are just punching. Brody goes for a clothesline. Austin ducks, spins him around, hits him with a stunner.
Nice.
He picks Brody up. He's trying to eliminate him, but he's just too heavy to get over the ropes. He's too big. Number 17, Sabu runs out with a chair. Slides in the ring. He swings the chair at Austin. Austin ducks, hits Sabu with the stunner. Austin picks up Sabu, throws him over the top rope. Number 18, Mortis comes out with Gangrel. Mortis attacks Austin right away, clotheslines him hard.
First member of the Dark Alliance.
Yep. And he starts brawling with Bruiser Brody, Mortis and Brody. Number 19, Edge. Another fiery babyface. Edge runs in. He spears Austin. He spears Brody. Eddie's getting up. He spears Eddie.
Nice.
Savage is selling up. He spears Savage. Edge is just on a tear. Edge and Jericho team up. They get on Mortis. They throw Mortis over the top rope. Edge turns around. Savage hits him with a big drop kick and knocks Edge over the top rope. Edge is eliminated by Randy Savage, unfortunately. He came in hot, and he was eliminated by Randy Savage. And number 20, there's only one man left, and it's the loose cannon, Brian Pillman.
Yes.
He comes out to the ring. He's got his cane. Everyone is knocked down in the ring right now except Austin, and Austin's just waiting. He's calling. He wants him. And Pillman slides in, and they start brawling. Pillman, he swings his cane at Austin. Austin ducks, kicks him in the gut. He goes for the stunner. Pillman shoves him off. Austin catches the ropes. Pillman charges them. They both fly over the top rope, and they're both eliminated from the Rumble. But the brawl continues. They're on the floor. They're fighting violently on the floor. Pillman grabs a chair. He swings it at Austin, but he misses. He hits the ring post. Austin knocks Pillman over the guardrail, and they start fighting through the crowd.
This is more than about wins and losses. This is about getting revenge.
It's personal. It's personal. Pillman just keeps costing Austin world title opportunity after title opportunity.
A thorn in his side.
The final four in the ring, it's Eddie Guerrero. It's Randy Savage. These guys have been in there since the beginning. It's Bruiser Brody. And it's Chris Jericho. The four of them are fighting in the ring. We cut to the back. Austin and Pillman are brawling in the parking lot. Pillman hits Austin with a low blow, gets a steel chair, hits him in the back. He gets into his 1973 El Camino. He fires up the engine. He charges the car at Austin, and Austin just narrowly jumps out of the way. And Pillman speeds off into the sunset. And Austin is livid. He almost got murdered. He was almost murdered.
Jeez.
Vehicular manslaughter, if you
that's
will.
Only a little, that's more than interfering in a match.
Yeah, he's crossed the line here. Back in the ring, the final four. Jericho goes for a lion salt on Savage, but he's intercepted. Eddie pushes him over the top rope to the floor as he jumps up onto the second rope. And we're down to three. It's Randy Savage. It's Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat, and it's Bruiser Brody. Savage and Eddie, they look at each other. They decide that they need to go after Brody together. Brody fights back. He tries to toss Eddie over the top, but he lands on the apron. Savage attacks Brody from behind. He tries to dump him out. Eddie's on the apron. He's kind of assisting. He's kind of backdropping him. And the two of them are slowly able to eliminate Bruiser Brody, the two of them together, Randy Savage and Eddie Guerrero. Nice. Savage is a sportsman. He says, you get back in the ring. He lets Eddie get back in the ring. No problem. They shake hands, and these guys go at it for another couple more minutes. Savage flies off the top with an elbow drop, but Eddie moves out of the way. Eddie heads to the top for the frog splash, but his knee is just buckling. He can barely climb to the top rope, and Savage cuts him off. Eddie pushes Savage off the top rope, and Savage kind of lands on the apron. Eddie flies off the top rope with a drop kick, knocking Savage to the floor, and Eddie falls into the ring. Nice. And Savage's feet hit the floor, and Eddie wins the Rumble in the Bronx, the 20-man Rumble. Savage, he gets back in the ring. He hugs Eddie, raises his hand. There's pyro, confetti going off. Shawn Michaels makes his way out on the ramp. Shawn Michaels has the world title over his shoulder. He just does a little slow clap. And Eddie's in the ring celebrating, staring down Shawn Michaels. And we fade to black.
Jeez.
That's
fantastic. Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels. The mullet's just a-flowing. Oh, my God.
The Texas mullets, they're flowing. And Eddie, the comeback of a century, goes from losing his Intercontinental title, being beat up by 3 men, and goes on to defeat 19 other men and win the Rumble in the Bronx to become the #1 contender for Shawn Michaels' World Heavyweight Championship.
Going from #1 in the Rumble to being the #1 contender.
Absolutely. Number one, these guys lasted, the Rumble was like 3 hours.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
The intervals were about 15 minutes apart.
Oof, that's a long time. Jeez. So Eddie, had quite the night that night.
Long night for Eddie. Yeah, no, he did great. And of course, Randy Savage shows up and in his first showing, goes a very long time with Eddie right to the finish.
Totally. And also shows sportsmanship and stuff like that. You never know which Macho Man you're going to see. We've seen him play both the good side and the bad side, but tonight we saw Macho Man playing things right down the middle and offering a hand of friendship and being a clean sport.
Exactly. And of course just getting a message. Of course, Bruiser Brody absolutely killing it as well, dominating a big portion of the Rumble, eliminating a whole bunch of guys. Bam Bigelow eliminating several guys. Stone Cold Steve Austin eliminating several guys. And, of course, Austin and Pillman fighting right to the back, and Pillman attempting to murder Austin with his vehicle.
How much further can that feud go? You've got to think like they pushed it. Pillman each week has kind of pushed the boundaries of where he's willing to take Austin, and up to vehicular manslaughter. Like I don't know how much further we can get, and how much further is the promotion willing to let Pillman take this
Exactly.
before like there's something needs to be done, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something has to give here. Now
I worry about. Oh, sorry, go.
we've got 3 TV shows left until our final pay-per-view.
Yeah, geez, we're working in there. Yeah, there's a lot of like loose ends and a lot of stories to finish up here. So it's exciting to see where it goes in this next 3 weeks. Your calculated booking technique and my frantic wrestling style technique to see how these last 3 weeks end up and where we end up at our big card, the final one.
I'm loving it. And do you have anything for your show next week to follow up on the paper? Any matches announced or anything like that?
I don't think there actually was anything left announced for. Okay. No, there wasn't anything. I think we just had like some leftover storylines that are probably going to be answered. We've got to figure out who Brown is. I think we've got to hear from the new co-managers of Raven and Roddy Piper how their team building exercises.
Yes.
We've got to figure out who exactly was it that left the Big Show and Kane in a pile of hot sauce in the middle of the ring. We've got to get ourselves that mid-card Masters champion finally once and for all, no matter what. We need to have that come down, and a new champion will be declared next week.
And hopefully get an update from Abe Lincoln of some kind.
Yeah, no, definitely. And who knows, maybe he could be even involved in that mid-card championship match. We don't know.
And the only thing that was announced for my show, of course, obviously a lot of follow-up coming from the pay-per-view, but the tag team titles will be defended. TL Hopper and Goldust need to defend their titles against High Impact.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a big match. 2 babyface tag teams. High Impact been on a real streak, and of course TL and Goldust not so much, but they did win the titles tonight. And most importantly, the Disco Inferno will begin his auditions for his dance crew.
Oh, nice, excellent! I've been waiting for that one. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I said on the World Championship, maybe it's time. There's different avenues for everyone in wrestling. You know what I mean? It could be a podcast that breaks for somebody in wrestling. It could be a dance career. It could be John Cena's rap album. It could be The Rock's movies. You know what I mean? It could be Mr. Nanny. We don't know.
And maybe this could launch Disco into that kind of John Cena stratosphere.
I think so, yeah, because it's really when you like open up your portfolio, you know what I mean, and you're willing to take on all sorts of things. We see The Rock with his like tequila brand and his workout gear and all those kind of different things. Like that, you've got to have like 7 different things if you want to make a lot of money. So
So theoretically, we could go to like Sport Check and we could see like the Disco Inferno line of workout clothing.
Or dance gear, probably.
Dance gear, go to the liquor store, see the Disco Inferno brand of tequila, these kind of things.
Exactly. I think it'd probably be more likely a malt liquor, but you never know.
Like Starbucks has like the Michael Bublé Christmas albums at the front. Like you could have a Disco Inferno Christmas album of some kind.
Totally. Like him and the Chipmunks do a duet together.
Like a VHS, like instructional dance video. Yeah.
I miss those. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. Like maybe an instructional Christmas dance video where they're teaching you how to get a sweat while you're decorating your house.
Absolutely.
Tinsel and toe touches.
Very cool. Well, that was great, man. Huge success. Second pay-per-view in the books. SMASHTURBUTION. Hell of a show.
Rodeo.
And we've only got 4 shows left, 3 TVs and 1 big pay-per-view. And we'll probably do another follow-up episode or 2, kind of recapping how the season went. Maybe have some special guests kind of analyze the season.
That'd be fantastic.
I think that'll be a lot of fun. But thanks for joining us. Back next week with our next episode of TV, the final build towards our last pay-per-views.
Ooh, here it comes.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.